This is for, INFJs, people who have social anxiety, whoever doesn't really like small talk, but, has to accept that this is just a part of life and wants to bridge the gap from small talk to deeper conversation. Hey guys, so today I really wanted to do this one. It's going to be very, very helpful in the near future with the holidays that are coming up, all the dinner parties you're gonna go to, whatever it is, or at least that you'll be invited to, regardless of if you're gonna go. Office parties, whatever it is, and we are going to go through how to get from like small talk into deeper conversations. I feel like this is something that is helpful for every INFJ out there because we like to just delve deep into other people. We like to delve deep into anything, really. So, and for the most part, that usually tends to turn some people off, or at least it I don't want to say that it scares them, but it scares them. So, like all that intensity and really the fact that we are so philosophical a lot of the times, like it's just sometimes we don't know how to get from point A to point B. So let's go through that today. And we're actually going to go through 3 different levels of these. We're going to have openers, mid conversations, and closers. And then so you will have, a little bit of intro before that, then you'll have those 3, and then you'll have the deeper questions that you really want to get into, and this is like the progressive path to that. So again, this is for, INFJs, people who have social anxiety, whoever doesn't really like small talk, but, has to accept that this is just a part of life and wants to bridge the gap from small talk to deeper conversation. So let's go ahead and get into this. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any ideas about other questions as well, please leave them below because I also want to test them out too. And I will see you in the video. First, we have openers. So I'm going to go over 5 questions in each of these groups. So these are, either time-based or situation-based, whatever it is, but you should be able to use these every single time that you meet somebody. Personally, I like to jump into, so what do you think about life? And that usually sends them running. They're like, there's my friend, I'll be right back. And then they never come back, and that's a little awkward, right? And then, of course, we're always like, well, whatever, that's fine. Clearly that's not the type of person they are. But it doesn't mean that that's not the type of person that they are or that they could be. It just means that they weren't ready for that right away. So obviously, open up with whatever you feel the most comfortable with. How's your night going? How's your evening? How do you know the hostess or the host? Any of those types of questions, and then we will get into these openers. So the first question that I have on the openers list is, what's your favorite insert holiday, event, whatever it is, memory? So this in conversation would be, what's your favorite Christmas memory? And the reason why most of these questions are the way that they are is because of the fact that it makes them feel a good emotion. And that is what we want them to feel, because a lot of the times people don't always remember what we say or what we do, but they remember how we made them feel. And that is like the biggest thing that I've noticed through conversations. So all of these questions are going to be sort of creating a good feeling within them that they can then share with you, and you can follow up with another question after. So again, what's your favorite whatever holiday event? It could be, what's your favorite office party memory? That's fun too. Or you could, put in your different words, like, what is your most fun Christmas party memory? Anything like that, or interesting. You can literally put any other, I want to say adjective, but I know that that's wrong. You can put any other thing in the favorite category in order to make it work for you. And obviously you can also restructure these questions as well. And then once they tell you, obviously you are going to have to remember that they are probably going to say, what about you? So again, with all of these questions, make sure that you not only are prepared to ask them the question, but that you have your own answers as well. And obviously respond in the moment. So whatever feels most natural to you, that is going to help. But these, this is just a guideline. Okay, so number 2. Do you have any special traditions for this time of year? That could be based on, again, Christmas. Again, we are really close to those holidays, so I'm trying to give you things that you can use for this time right now, but also things that you could use in the future. So even if it's 4th of July, you could use that one. Even if it's New Year's, if it's Easter, if it's summer, if it's spring, fall, whatever it is, So that question again is, do you have any special traditions for this time of year? Okay, so number 3. What are you looking forward to the most this year? And again, this one gives them a basis of positivity, of optimism, of things that they are looking forward to and that they want to share with people probably as much as the next person. Like if you're going on a cruise or something, you want to tell people about that. Like that's just something that you want to do. But a lot of the times this is a smaller talk question that doesn't really get brought up. So that one is a very good one as well. So number 4 is, what are you most passionate about right now? And this also brings out the things they are interested in. And this could start you on a whole different conversation as well. So take it as it goes. And these are like the best openers that I've found in personal experience. So number 5, what is your favorite way to make others smile? And again, this creates a feeling within them that has them bring joy not to others, or not just to others, but to themselves as well. And then you can take a part of that. You can say that that's a great thing. You can give them validation. And again, this is all of the stuff that they are going to want to hear before you move on into the deeper conversations. So those are the 5 openers. That last question, again, we'll just go over it one more time. So number 5 was, what is your favorite way to make others smile? So those are the openers, and we are going to get on to the mid-level conversation starters. So these ones are best used after you've been talking for, maybe 5 minutes. If you've started with one of those opener questions and you've gotten a little bit of a basis, or even if you don't know about this about one of your friends and, they're not always really in the mood for a deep conversation, this is a good way to lead them there. So these are mid-level. This requires a little bit more intimacy, a little bit more trust. So number 1 is, what is the top goal that you're working towards right now? So this is kind of bringing up not just positive emotions, but it's bringing up different ones for them too. And it's, obviously you could put a good spin on it and you can, ask them what they're doing for it, but you can definitely, validate them and, cheer them on and just push them in the right direction as gently as possible. So again, that question, the number 1 question for the mid-level is, what is the top goal you're working towards right now? All right, let's move on to number 2. What is your favorite thing to look forward to each week? So this is, kind of challenging them a little bit to think of what is at least one thing that they're excited for each week. And if they don't have something, that's the time when you can be like, oh, well, I like to look forward to my coffee, and that's also an everyday thing, but it could be my weekly thing as well if I really wanted it to be. So you can play around with that whatever way you want to. But again, that number 2 question was, what is your favorite thing to look forward to each week? All right, so number 3, who's your role model? This is a great basis of kind of what type of person they are, who they would want to talk about the most, and it'll lead you into a deeper conversation as well. So if it's somebody in their family, then they can, you can delve into their family life, you can delve into the friends that they have, or even if it's somebody that's famous. And again, I just want to remind you that each and every one of these questions, they are probably going to ask them to you back. So when you ask, who's your role model? And like if somebody asked me that, I would say, oh, it was my grandma. Who was yours? And that's how you get into the conversation. So I could elaborate some more on that if I was really open to talking about it, or I could be, more clear cut like that answer really was. So number 4 is, when was the last time you felt truly inspired? And this will bring up some really good emotions for them as well. It's going to bring up, what it was that they were doing at the time, why they felt inspired, and who was inspiring them or what was inspiring them and what they did afterwards. So this could lead into so many different directions that it's a really good mid-level question. Plus, if they're not entirely sure of what that was, they could take a second to just kind of be like, well, I'm not sure. And then, you could then insert yours and it'll help them open up as well. So again, that number 4 question was, when was the last time you felt truly inspired? So number 5, what's something you want to do in life that you haven't done yet? So again, this brings up a good emotion, but it also is kind of piquing their interest and seeing what they're really interested in. If there's something in life that they haven't done yet that you also want to do, this is a great opportunity to be like, oh my God, that's literally, I want to do that too. Like, maybe we should do it together sometime. And again, play it off of the situation that's happening at the time, but I find that it's a really, really good question. Okay, so again, that question for number 5 of these mid-level was, what's something you want to do in life that you haven't done yet? Again, it's kind of like a bucket list thing. So let's move on to our closers. So if you've been writing these down, if you've been, keeping track of how deep these questions are, it progressively gets deeper as we go in. So each one of these questions is leading into a deeper question. So it's a really good system to have when you want to have those conversations after you're at the party and you're done kind of being the observer and you're ready to start talking to people, like you've picked out the right people or you've picked out the certain people that you really do want to approach. These are good ways to lead that conversation somewhere. And again, it's creating a basis of emotions and feelings that they are going to feel connected with and they are going to associate with you. So again, let's get into these closers and let's look at these 5 questions that we have. So these are going to be getting into the really deeper stuff. So just be prepared. You're an INFJ. You're already prepared. Sorry. All right, so number 1, what do you feel truly grateful for in life? You can see how the depth changed from the last questions that we just did to this question. So again, the first question is, what do you feel truly grateful for in life? It'll bring up some great memories for them, some great times, things that they are really connected to, and it'll also give you kind of a glimpse into more of their life, into more of their past. So number 2 is, what is your personal message to the world? And I made an Instagram post about this one earlier because I woke up at 3:30 a.m. today. I was just so excited to make these videos today. I had so many ideas. I had so many things that I wanted to do. And I was like, I need to get up and I need to plan for this. So I literally at 3:30 in the morning, I was sitting at my computer doing nothing else other than updating my YouTube stuff and going through the comments that everybody has left on my channel in the last year or two. I don't even know why YouTube hasn't given me the notifications sometimes about these or whatever it was. I think I was just so burned out at one point that I just I couldn't respond. But that is something that I really wanted to do this morning, and that also got me thinking about what my actual personal message is to the world. And so I took this picture and I posted it on Instagram, and it's something that I really feel that everybody has, but not everybody either lives or shares with others, communicates to others. So that is also another big thing about my channel. And if you haven't watched the intro video or you haven't watched the intention video, by all means, you can go ahead and click on that one, because I don't think I have it linked in here, but it might be in suggestions, whatever. Or it might be my featured video. Who knows? But it definitely is all about like the message to the world. We're not going to get into that here. That's not what this video is about. So anyways, so that number 2 closer question is, what is your personal message to the world? So number 3, how do you show compassion for others? And again, that is going to bring them into a whole different mindset. It's like shifting them into feeling instead of like just thinking. And this is something that, I mean, I know that we all love to have these deep philosophical conversations, but you also really do, at least I do, enjoy other people feeling what they're talking about, because it's so much easier for me to feel their feelings than to feel my own. So when other people feel good, I feel good, and that just is like the best possible situation. So that is what most of these questions are for. It is to help you get out there, for you to actually show your true self and to make an impact on people, as well as get more out of the conversations that you're having. All right, so that number 3 question again is, how do you show compassion for others? All right, so number 4, do you think we create our own reality? I think this is something that every single INFJ ever has contemplated at some point, whether it's in those specific words or not. But again, this is a closer, question. This is like the deeper stuff that we want to get into. So it's not something that's totally on the opposite end of the spectrum, but it is very deep for just smaller talk things. So that's why this is a closer. But it's still, if you've led with all of the rest of these, you are able to bring this question in now because you've progressed into that area. So number 4 again was, do you think we create our own reality? I also just kind of want to point out, like, through these questions, different people learn different ways. Some people learn through seeing, like visual. Some people learn auditorily. Some people learn by feeling. Some people learn by doing. So you have to try and figure out which questions or which structure of questions reaches their hearts. And what I mean by that is the do you feel or do you think? Do you know? Any of those types of structures, have you ever, like those kinds of things. Those are the different, I want to say stanzas, but again, I'm pretty sure that that's wrong. Those are the different parts of the sentence that could be changed to each person. So I personally always ask, do you feel? But that's also because I'm more of, like, I would rather know how they feel than how they think, if that makes sense. But I do also ask, like, there are certain people, the INTJs and people that aren't necessarily as comfortable with feeling, I usually ask them questions as, do you think? Because I know that that's the way that they are going to respond, and they're going to get more out of the question. They're going to feel a little bit more connected to it. So that is why I've structured a lot of these in different ways to help you kind of realize which way you would want to do it for different people. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start with something, start with whatever you're most comfortable with, whatever's most natural to you, and then you can work on it, if you want to. So we finally get to number 5. Do you believe happiness comes from within? I also find that this is a very good question because it angles directly on happiness. It draws out what makes them happy. It draws out why they're happy, and you can get into so many different conversations from this that it's just so much. So those are the top 15 questions that I usually use in order to start from point A of absolutely knowing, not knowing who this person is, to the intro, to the opener, to the mid-level, to the closer, and then into deep conversation. That is the progression of conversations for me, really anytime now. So it's something that I really do stand by, and something that has really helped me open up to others as well as them opening up to me, and we kind of meet in the middle. Sometimes I'm putting a little bit more in, sometimes they're more enthusiastic than me. That's rare, but you know, it is what it is. So I hope that you liked these tips or questions, whatever you want to call them. If you use these, please leave me a comment. Let me know how it worked out for you. Let me know what your thoughts are about any of these questions. So I hope this helps. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.